guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about tips to learning a new electronic medical record. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder. Okay guys, recently at my facility we have undergone a complete overhaul with our electronic medical record or electronic health record, whatever you want to call it. EHR, EMR, it's the same thing. So we have recently undergone a new system. So we are still learning things, and the implementation started about a month ago, a little over a month ago. And so I have been going through this process of learning a new electronic health record. I did get a comment, which I will read, and then we'll go ahead and discuss this. But here we go. So the comment goes, "Hi Blue, wonder if you have any information you can share on Epic system for denial coding. I just got my first job in denial coding for orthopedics." Because we all know I love ortho. And I am just sort of beside myself with all of the fast clicking going on and the screens flying past my eyes. We are group training, so it's all done on a 50-inch TV on the wall, but no one can see anything clearly, and the manager has so much stuff on her personal little laptop, and it makes it even tougher to understand where we're going. I'm still a bit lost finding the charge correct screen and starting to feel stupid. What can I do? I've been studying the CO4, CO5, and CO11 or C011 and more, but if I can't get Epic down, then that's what hurts me. Is there some sort of playground to practice in? Thanks for all the videos past and any that are relatable to my learning disorder here." And then she puts a smiley face. Here's the thing, guys, don't feel stupid. Don't feel stupid. It is a brand new system that you're working with, and I can empathize with this because I'm going through this myself. And we did not get the best training for our new electronic medical record system. I will say this first off, okay? We did not. And it's taken about 4 weeks now for me to kind of like get warmed up and getting to where I'm like, okay, I can kind of get it now. So it does take a little bit of time. You shouldn't feel stupid. All right, this is something that is new, and it's gonna take some time to learn, but once you learn it, you'll have it down. Now, my tips to learning a new electronic medical record is what I went through just recently going through this change. So aside from, we had terrible training. I mean, we did. And the trainers that were training us, they are trained on the system itself, but they are not medical coders. So when we would ask a question, they don't kind of really get what we're trying to say. But they know how to maneuver in the record system. So that's where it's kind of like, now we have to kind of learn it on our own. So I did work with one of the trainers. Like, he came to my office because they said we have to do just a few days of training, and then we were a go live, which, okay, whatever. But they gave us manuals, and to me, I am a hands-on person. I have to physically be working with it in order for me to start making sense. I cannot watch a video. I cannot watch, a demonstration. I cannot read from a book. I actually have to do it myself. And I know this about myself. So I've been very patient with me, which is great. I've been very patient in this part of the process because I know that I eventually will get it. I just don't get it right now. So we did have the trainers that stayed a week after the go live. And so one of the trainers actually got sent over to my office because I didn't have a chance to set up my clinics that I have to work in regularly. And they said that they were going to send somebody last week, and they didn't, or the week before that. And they didn't. And so I'm just like, hey, I need somebody here with me today before these trainers leave, because I don't know how to set this up and no one has showed me. So one of the trainers came down and he's like, "Oh no, we got this." And I'm like, I'm going through these things, and I even said that I read the book. I read the booklet that they gave us. It was a thick booklet, and I know because I assembled these booklets for the rest of my team. And I said, this booklet does not make sense. I'm trying, and it's just like, I can get some things, but some things I just don't know. And so he was patient enough to work with me and get going on some of this stuff. But some of it he had to learn too as well. Because you get to different people, you're going to have different types of questions. So that's where we were at. And but I have been able to work with it, and I'm getting used to it. The tip that I will say first is that you have to be patient with yourself. That's number one. Number two, you actually have to be in it. So if you think that you're going to be learning from training, some people will get it from somebody showing them on the screen, and others will not, you know. So it's okay if you're not, and you have to kind of actually get in it and kind of go from there. So that's my second tip, is that if you don't learn from the screen, that's okay. Just make sure that you start to get in it. Now, again, don't feel stupid, because you can feel frustrated, yes, but don't feel stupid, because it's something that's brand new. You got to cut yourself a break. You know, you can't just expect yourself to just immediately learn everything. I mean, what fun is that, right? When you just immediately know everything right away, instead of just like, okay, I'm learning and I'm working to learn this stuff. I have looked on YouTube. Now, YouTube has the big three, okay? They have Epic, they have eClinicalWorks, and they have Cerner tutorials all over YouTube. So I am not going to leave a link to one that I recommend. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, guys, because you can do it. You can do your research. YouTube has plenty of resources when it comes to learning electronic medical records and learning tutorials and things like that. Guys, you have to learn to do your research. I'm teaching you guys to fish, okay? I'm teaching y'all to fish, and I will say I'm pointing you in the right direction. Look on YouTube. All you have to do is Epic, and it'll say electronic medical record tutorial, and boom, now you have a ton of those videos that come up. And some of them are a couple of years old, some of them are more recent. But it's still a way to kind of help you to get an idea of where to go. Now, I do have one tutorial video on using a 3M encoder. I do have that. And there's no commercials on it. Okay, so if you're an anti-commercial person, there's no commercials on that one. So it's a complete run through of how to like look up codes and things like that in the encoder. That's the one that I could, you know, share with all of you. So that's what I did. And I can leave that link in the description box below. So check the description box for all the videos and stuff that I recommend, plus my contact information if you're looking for, you know, a resume rewrite, or if you're looking for a tutoring session or professional coaching. My rates are in the description box below. So I would go there and just check out what you have to look, you know, for whatever electronic record you're working with. You can look online on YouTube and see those videos and see if that will help you. Sometimes it takes somebody else to kind of explain too. Certain times when people are like, I noticed in our training, right? They were saying, well, there's two ways you can do this. You can create this list. You can go this way, or you can go this. If you're telling me that there's two options, you can do this one and then you can go this way. No. Give me one option, because I'm trying to learn right now. I don't need 3 or 4 or 5 options, 2 options that I can do the same task. Give me one option. And if I want to learn something else later on, that's fine. But you're giving me too many things, okay? So that's why I say, like, if they're gonna give you a bunch of options, and the trainer that actually came down, sweet guy, you know, sweet fella, he said, he goes, well, we could start it this way, but then there's also, I said, no. I need one option. Which one do you want to pick? Okay, well, this one. Okay, so then just teach me that way, because I don't need a bunch of different options. I need to learn how to use this, and then I need to get up to speed with how to enter the codes in, because the system that we that we are in now, this new system, is not as smart as the old system. Because the old system, and I'm not saying this because, you know, I used the old system for years, kind God, I think something bit me. I was outside earlier, and it is springtime, and anyway, right, okay, so we are going into this new thing, right? And this new system is not as smart as the old system, and I, like I said, I'm not saying that just because, you know, I was using the old system for years, but it technically isn't as smart because you have to piecemeal in everything. And so it's kind of a pain. I don't particularly care for it, but I am getting faster at it. It's just a matter of improving the process. But I am going up steadily every week with the amount of encounters I'm able to complete. And, you know, my providers are getting on board with, you know, learning the electronic medical record as well. You know, they're learning too. So there's a lot of questions that are going to be out there, and especially if you're doing group training, there's always going to be different speeds of people learning at the same time. But trust me, even though they may not say that they're not that they got it, they may not get it. Okay, so don't beat yourself up, whatever you do. But it's a matter of just getting in and kind of working through whatever electronic record you're going through. And like I said, that was how I was able to do it. I did, after the trainer left, of course, that's when you come up with even more questions. So there are a couple of ladies that are on my team that I feel really comfortable with when it comes to talking to and things like that, as far as like, you know, hey, you know, what do you think of this and what do you think of that? You know, so I did reach out to one of them, and I'm like, hey, do you think I can ask you a couple questions? She's like, yeah, sure. So as we're going through, she's on her side, I'm on my side, and I'm like, okay, well, when you enter this in, do you click this box, or which box do you click? And she's like, oh no, you click this other box. And I'm like, oh. So that made it all the more easier to, like, it started to click, because it's somebody that's on the same level as you, and then you're just like, okay, now you get it. So that's just something that you have to work through it. And when you're learning a new electronic medical record, and it doesn't matter how many places that you work, you know, everybody's process is going to be different. I know if I was to leave my hospital today, which I'm not, but I'm just saying, if I left my hospital today, I'd have to learn a whole new electronic medical record, or I'd have to learn a whole new process. And being patient with yourself is very important. If you're looking for specific pointers on specific things, I have never worked with Epic. I've never worked with Epic. So, you know, I hear good things and I hear bad things about Epic. Epic is pretty big. Epic is one of the biggest ones. However, I will say that a lot of times I will hear the complaints of, like, you know, Epic is not selecting the correct diagnosis, or there's things that don't cross over or whatever. And so every electronic medical record is electronic, so it's only going to be as smart as the people that are putting it together, right? And these things get pretty technical, and they get pretty expensive at the same time too. So like I said, there's plenty of tutorial videos on YouTube about Epic. I think that there are like classes and stuff like that you can take as far as like if you really want to get advanced in Epic, you know. But to me, you know, the training on the job is sufficient enough. You shouldn't have to spend extra money just to get, oh, I'm Epic certified, and you shouldn't have to go through all that. You should just, you know, take your time and learn that stuff. You will learn it. It's not something that you're not ever going to learn. If you're taking the time to learn like these billing error codes or whatever that they're talking about here, all of that is going to come with time. Okay, so don't beat yourself up. Everybody's in the learning process, and that's just the way that this industry is. I mean, at least you know how to code. And that's what I would tell myself too, because the first week after we started this new electronic record, we are not in productivity standards right now because everybody's learning it. And so they told us, you know, you're not in productivity standards, but they're giving us a chance to kind of work our way to get to learn this stuff. So that took some of the pressure off. However, it was like, okay, after about a week of that, then it's like, okay, hey, we need everybody to start picking up the pace. Now, I'm not going slow by any means. I am trying to get back up to speed, because the faster I know that I get up to speed, the quicker I can help my providers. And so that's where I am, you know. But again, don't beat yourself up. You know, that's the biggest thing. learning a new electronic medical record is going to take some time, and it doesn't come over to you overnight. But like I said, just spending some time watching those YouTube videos, taking the time to Google any kind of tips sheets. I've seen those as well. People post tip sheets on the internet. You know, you can Google those things. Epic tip sheets for medical coders, you know, eClinical Works tip sheets for medical coders, you know, whatever. So that way you can kind of like, oh, okay, there's something out there. Somebody put something out there. You know, there's always those resources out there to help you. Okay, so that is my advice today. Don't beat yourself up. It's not worth it, especially when it will come to you in time. Just have to get in it. And I wondered when I first started, like with this training, I'm like, because we only had a couple of days, and they were like, well, you go here, you click here, you click here, and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't, it's not, nothing's registering. So I'm not even gonna stress myself out. And I knew that I was like gonna, okay, as soon as I get into the electronic record itself, I will be fine. And it's true, I'm fine, you know. And like I said, I'm getting faster every day. And as long as I keep talking with my providers, because there are things that I'm learning about this electronic record that I tell my providers, and then they tell me, and then they're like, okay, well, when we got our training, they said this. And I said, okay, who's the coder? They go, well, you. I say, yeah. So we talked about like documentation, things like that. And so there's, you know, there's just a lot of things that you learn, and it's a good time. It's a good time to learn new things. It's always good to learn. You know, I'm just saying anyway. So I hope this helps. Stick with it, guys. It'll get easier. Don't worry. You'll learn it, and by the time you know it, you'll be a pro, and you'll be out there helping other people to learn these things as well. But learning to do your research will go a long way into this. I'm just saying. I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye.